Tom, you and I can talk about how the bench and these federal benches are not political, but these judges are reading the paper. They're wondering if they're going to be the only one who steps out and says, you know, enough is enough. This should not be considered a valid election. And until one does, nobody does. I know that sounds, of course, like a logical conclusion, but it is really a political statement. There has to be a judge out there who has the guts to do what the law requires him to do.
We had one state judge in Pennsylvania who was willing to take the steps necessary, and she got reined in immediately by the partisan Pennsylvania Supreme Court. So we've got three options. Supreme Court steps in, because the lower courts, no matter what's going to happen, the Supreme Court's going to have to step in one way or another to validate what went on.
That's right.
Secondly, we have the state legislatures who have the plenary authority, and our listeners know about this. They are the kings of how these electors are ultimately appointed. And if they think the election was improperly conducted, they can step in and appoint a clean slate. And then thirdly, Congress can throw out electors from states whose elections are compromised as well. Where are we? I guess the political side we should all be aware of, and our listeners and viewers should be calling their elected representatives, let them know what they think. But just to kind of round it up, where do we think we're going in the courts? How quickly do we think, what dates can we expect to hear from the Supreme Court in a significant way to let us know where they're going?
Let's see, is today Monday? It's all merged for me.
Monday the 7th, it's Pearl Harbor.
Okay. We're going to hear something this week in a couple of cases, I believe. And additionally, I believe we're going to see another case filed, potentially, that has original jurisdiction within the United States Supreme Court between states on this issue. So I would expect
state suing another state and asking the Supreme Court to take it up immediately, because the Supreme Court under the Constitution, if it so chooses, can immediately adjudicate a dispute between states.
That's right. That's right. So I think all of these matters are going to move swiftly. I would anticipate by a week from Friday, we will know the answer to most of the litigation. I would still say, as you have mentioned, Tom, that there are still options available to legislatures as well as Congress.
Bill's been in the battles for a long time, and we have here at Judicial Watch. But what's happening this year is we have individual citizens, many of whom had zero experience with any public activity, let alone political activity, who are coming forward and risking it all to come forward to expose what's been going on.
That's right.
So, we should be rooting for Phil, rooting for Judicial Watch, rooting for the rule of law, but we should be praying for those witnesses who are coming forward at great risk to themselves to be tarred and feathered by the communist left and their allies in the media. So let's remember that as we close out.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel